The following is a presentation of Biggs Media Services.
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.
Are you ready? Time to play the game!
Biggs Golf Talk for golfers.
You want to hear a nice golf joke? Yeah, I should have showed up and watched me play yesterday. I should be put on Chick Galore or something like that. A team named that. Scramblers. That's it. Scramblers, that's the team I should be on. Because I was scrambling for my ball.
There's a golf shot. That's a golf shot.
Hey, when am I going to get the caddy?
The bag is bigger than you.
So?
That white one?
Yeah?
That's the one you're carrying.
Oh, man, that thing's a boat anchor.
I haven't had the golf anything since high school.
No, that's you, not me. She likes to enjoy a beverage herself. Is that what you're trying to say?
I might be distracted. That's another story. Golf course and equipment reviews, golf news, guests, and lots of golf humor. When you need to drive for show,
Are you ready?
for Biggs Golf Talk.
I'm special.
Yes, you are, with a helmet.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
It is showtime, baby. Here we go.
Biggs Golf Talk is presented by U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Handmade Vodka. Qualify for the King's Cup today by participating in national qualifiers now on the website at usgolfchallenge.com. And don't forget about the June 15th date. That is a U.S. Golf Challenge national qualifier here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is the BGT 18-hole challenge. So be sure to head over to U.S. Golf Challenge or BiggsGolfTalk.com to sign up today. BGT also sponsored in part by ShotScope, Encore Golf, Photo Ball Marker, McNally 22, Ready Putt, Zalise CBD for golfers, Scorpion 21, Feel the Sting, and Squares Shoes. It's hip to wear squares. Square up your game today by wearing the footwear that helps shave strokes off your game. Connect with Biggs Golf Talk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Golf Ball. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. We're available in the Google Play Music Store, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and your smart home devices. Our website is www.biggsgolftalk.com, BIGGS golftalk.com. I am Bigg Jon Vic. He is Bill the GolfFather Cuebas. And back from Puerto Rico, and this show is Discover Puerto Rico Part 2 here on Biggs Golf Talk, as we couldn't get all the information that we needed. One message that I could give you guys, that you don't need a passport to travel to that tropical island, and it's a part of the USA.
That's right. That was one of the biggest misconceptions that we found from beginning to end, and we're going to keep hammering that away. No passport needed.
No passport needed. And, you know, Bill, you and I both got it, right? Mm-hmm. And I just got a phone call just yesterday. Are you back in the country? I'm like,
I never left the country.
I never left the country. Yeah, exactly.
Unless Albuquerque's in a different country.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we do seem to be that set aside state that seems to be a whole different country.
Yeah, because it actually looks more like a different country than Puerto Rico did. Because Puerto Rico looked a lot like Florida. You know, with a over twist of it.
Let me pose this question to you, and I know the answer, but did you have fun?
I had a great time.
I did too.
I didn't have a good time. I had a great time.
And to those people that asked us, boy, you're going to be walking into destruction. Your safety is going to be at risk. Your health is going to be at risk. And I don't know. I feel the same as I did when I got on the plane to go there.
Not really. The trip. We started at 6:15 in the morning. Finished at around 11:30 every night. So and repeat and keep doing it. So there's and we didn't even scratch the surface. There is so much to the island that we were unable to do, but we'll be going back. So anybody that's listening that goes out there for their week, plan accordingly. You know what I mean? There's a lot of golf out there. one of our guests that we'll be talking about, the Wyndham Grand Rio Mar. We could have gone there and stayed there and not left. And if we were there for those 6 days, we still wouldn't have completed everything just staying there.
Right.
So while I'm not encouraging just stay on the resort because that's what you'll hear. Oh, you can't leave the resort. You can't drive at night. You can't.
Right.
No, it's all bogus. You can go wherever you want because, I mean, literally the rainforest is a couple miles away. You have horseback.
What I like too is they have shuttle service that goes to the golf course, that goes to the restaurants.
They do.
So they got, I mean, and they have a concierge area in that hotel that's just fabulous.
Yeah, I mean,
you want a canoe, you want to, water ski.
The water ski. They have snorkeling.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that we were unable to experience, and that's why we're more than just a golf show.
We heard rumors that there were turtles migrating.
That's right.
The sea turtles were migrating.
They were laying the eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't get to really do that. We walked on the beach, but we didn't get to spend a lot of time on the beach.
Right.
It was quick.
Right.
It was more for photos.
And
stuff.
they had, at this particular hotel, at 11 a.m. every single day,
yes,
they hand feed the iguanas.
Yes. And aren't they cool?
Oh, they are cool.
They are really cool.
It's sad that they took them out of my suitcase when I went through the USDA checkpoint at the hotel. I mean, at the airport.
Well, they don't want you to make no belts or eat them.
I wasn't. It was going to be a pet.
Yeah, but they can't do that either. But everything we could have said it was a comfort pet or one of those service.
Right.
It's a service animal.
It's a service animal.
Yeah, it would have been better than
I tried.
You tried, but it didn't work out.
I didn't have the documentation for it.
No, you didn't
I forgot to print it off of the internet.
Internet, because if you don't buy it on the internet, you can't have it. And
you
didn't have the proper vest.
I should have put it on Facebook because I could just say, hey, go to Facebook because it's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the trip was absolutely amazing. There's so much.
And if people are trying to panic you into not going, folks, we are here to tell you right now, go.
Enjoy it.
We flew to San Juan Airport, and a beautiful airport.
Yes.
Gorgeous. I mean, the airport itself, you walk through.
It's shopping.
This is the first time.
Yes.
First time ever. So Bill and I went to come back home, and we went through the checkpoint. Well, once you go through the checkpoint, you must walk through a shopping area. You have to.
You have no choice.
You have no choice. You can't go around it.
No. It's
a high-class shopping thing.
Absolutely.
Chanel, and high price. You
they
can
have it all.
buy rum to take home with you once you pass the checkpoint.
And they also have a lot of stuff, based on the island. They had jewels made, from the island people and stuff like that.
The turquoise.
All that stuff like that. So what's funny is it reminded me like when you go to Orlando and you go to the parks, as soon as you get out the ride and you walk in and you clear everything, boom, everything hits.
Gift shop.
Yeah, gift shop. And that's what it was. It was like one big, huge gift shop for us. It was perfect.
And later on in the show, too, we're going to be talking to a guy that was in our group that got a hole-in-one out there in Puerto Rico. Yeah. Certainly one of the highlights of the trip. But most of all, the highlights was the cuisine, the people.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say 95% of the people that we ran into were bilingual, knew English and Spanish.
I'd probably say higher. I don't remember anybody
and you know what?
that just...
Not for nothing. I really enjoyed trying to communicate in Spanish.
Yes, you did. You did try. I was there, especially like when we went for breakfast, and the guy talked to you in Spanish, and you're like, "What do you say, Billy?" And then he goes, "Oh," and then he started talking English, which was cool because you just don't know. I mean, with the Mr. Hole-in-One that we're going to have later on, he went and he baffled me.
He's as white as it can be.
I mean, and he's from Alabama, and he has what I perceive to be an accent, and he talked. Puerto he spoke Spanish perfectly. I was like, and then we found out more. We'll wait for him to be on the guest.
Everywhere I went, I always wanted to find out how was something said because I want to try and educate myself.
And what they tell you, you need to roll your R's a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Puerto Rico.
Suave. Suavemente. Yeah. So it was a great trip. I don't even know if the second show. We're going to have some more guests on and get more in depth. There was even Nils.
One trip is not going to do it.
No, because we had the general manager on.
So, Dan, if you're listening right now.
Yeah, Dan Shepard, thank you.
Yes.
We need more people. We'll be going through. We have the rest of this show. We want to get Nils back on.
Yes.
Not Niles, Mr. Nils.
Yes.
There's so much history behind him. More, I want to touch about the Olympics and him ski jumper and all the other stuff. And it's all great stuff. I mean, he is a super wise man. He's worked in Hawaii. He's run hotels hotels everywhere, even from where he's. But I believe he was from Germany, was he? Is that where he was
Yes.
from?
No, Australia.
Australia.
Australia,
So his family
yes.
had a hotel, so he's been destined to run the businesses, and I think he'd be great to have on again. There's so many people that we got to talk
We just
to.
didn't have enough time.
No, we
when
didn't.
we did the live show, and we had some,
we had great
technical hiccups, but we got back on the air and
we
all
got to
that.
get Carla back on from Discover Puerto
Yes.
Rico. Rafa, the Puerto Rican golfer
Yes.
from the PGA. We got to get him back on. I got to reach out to him so we can get him some squares.
Yes.
So there's a lot of good stuff, and we met Sam. We got to golf with Sam.
Sam, yeah.
Sam was awesome, and
Sam Ryder.
Yeah, so we had a good thing. He finished in top 5.
Yeah, top 5.
So
yeah.
and that's what you kept saying. I think you might have jinxed him.
Why did I jinx
Because
him?
you kept saying, "Oh, he's in 5th place." I was like, "No, he's in 2nd." And you're like, "No, it's in 5th place." I was like, "No,
jinx
you did," because I kept saying, "No, he's in 2nd." You kept telling me he's in 5th. I was like, "No, he's in 2nd." And,
According to the PGA Tour leaderboard, it's tied for 5th.
Well, I didn't care. I called him. He was in 2nd. So you jinxed him, and he finished in 5th.
No,
so
you just wanted to speak your own language.
I just wanted. What's right? I wanted to do.
You
what's
didn't want to
right.
go to the official official leaderboard says.
I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. Well, you know
But
what?
by the way,
Yes.
PGA Tour bring in a tournament to Puerto Rico, to help put money back into the economy of the island. Great job, PGA Tour.
Yeah, they are. They're doing a good job. I hope they continue to support the island and stuff like that. Amanda's segment, I believe, is going to be on it as well. The differences between the Puerto Rico Open and everything else like that. So it'll be interesting to see what she found and what she's going to be talking about.
All right, we're going to head into the first break here, and then we come back. It will be Amanda's segment. On Par with Amanda to come up next here on Bigg's Golf Talk. Your phrase of the week, discover Puerto Rico.
Yes.
We'll be right back right after this.
Hey everyone, Bigg's Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. Download the app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Bigg's Golf Talk. Be sure to save us as a favorite so that you'll know when we're on. Join the millions of iHeartRadio listeners and listen to Bigg's Golf Talk. Golf Talk for golfers.
The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is searching for the country's best 2-player teams to compete against international field in the 54-hole Ryder Cup style event, known as the International Kings Cup, played in honor of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer.
The 6th annual edition of the International Kings Cup will be contested in May 2021 at the Glasson Golf Club in Ireland.
The road to the Kings Cup begins with a national qualifier. 2-player teams compete in an 18-hole qualifier playing best ball using net scoring. The top 30% and ties at each qualifier will be invited to the USGC National Championship. Winning teams at national qualifiers have a chance to receive a free $950 team entry into the event.
With an open and a senior division, each having 4 flights, teams of all skill levels will compete for a spot on Team USA. The winning team from each flight at the United States Golf Challenge National Championship will be crowned and win the expense-paid trip to the Glasson Golf Club in Athlone, Ireland, as part of Team USA.
Do you have what it takes? For more information, the website is usgolfchallenge.com for all the details. That's usgolfchallenge.com.
This is a commercial for golfers. Take the next step to improving your game with ShotScope and discover your strengths and weaknesses. Analyze statistics on your clubs, tee shots, approaches, short game, and putting. ShotScope V2 is the golf watch that combines GPS distances with automatic performance tracking. Once you have it, you won't want to play around without it. Check out ShotScope.com to take your game to the next level.
It's time for commentary, opinion, and controversy. On Par with Amanda. And here's the golf diva, Amanda Robertson.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of On Par with Amanda. We have some very exciting Puerto Rican golf to discuss. So, as you know, the guys were over in Puerto Rico, and they got to have the front row spot and tour of everything that was going on, and such a cool thing. I'm really happy that Bigg's Golf Talk got to be a part of the Puerto Rico event. With that said, I want to talk about why Puerto Rico is overlapped with Mexico City Championship. this has been something that it's the WGC Mexico Championship that the PGA Tour players play in. So at Puerto Rico, congratulations, by the way, to tour rookie Viktor Hovland. He is a rookie, but he has been making his debut with quite professionalism. And he is from Norway, and he was an All-American at Oklahoma State and a U.S. amateur champion. He's just had a really good run and a really good record. He's had 11 PGA starts, and he keeps making, top 25 finishes, and just a really solid player. And I think we're going to see a lot more from him. So he won the Puerto Rico event. Now, this Puerto Rico event is the golf course. For those of you that watched it, it is an absolute beauty. The course is in great shape. Puerto Rico is beautiful, and from what I keep hearing from everyone else and BiGGs and the GolfFather, even with all of the chaos that's happened over there and all of the stuff, it is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a beautiful event, and I just have to wonder why they overlap it with the Mexico City Championship. So here's the difference. You have this Mexico City one that all the bigger names go and play, and it overlaps. Well, this event in Puerto Rico had only a $3 million total prize payout. So the winner of this event, which was Viktor, took home $540,000. Now, don't get me wrong. We can all discuss that that's awesome. But it is nowhere near what the guys take home on a normal PGA Tour event. But it's because it's overlapping, it's a smaller purse, it's a smaller everything. So just for instance, if you tied for the last money spot, 6 guys tied for 44th, and they all made $9,200 apiece. So we can see the difference here between a normal PGA event and the Puerto Rico, and I don't know why it's the stepchild. Why does it get put on the back burner? And if you'll notice on the leaderboard, when I read through the names, there are very few that I recognize. There's very few that I actually go, oh yeah, because they're all at the other event. And so it's interesting to me because I think the PGA Tour sometimes obviously has a method to their madness, but I also think that sometimes they don't, in my opinion, always make the best decisions of why they overlap certain events. Now, here is one theory. I don't know if I believe this theory, but the one theory that I have heard is that by overlapping events, it does allow for other stars to shine. So like Viktor makes his debut here as a winner. It's not the same 5 guys at the top of the leaderboard week to week to week. Now, if I'm a fan and a spectator of the sport, I don't mind seeing the same names up there because it's exciting. It's who's going to be the next Tiger, who's going to, compete and take, is Koepka going to just keep making a tear? Is Rory really done? Like, all of these questions get answered when I get to see these top players and the best of the best. But it kind of doesn't allow for much else to go on. But with that said, you still have to shoot the scores. If you want to be the best in the world, you have to put up the scores on the scoreboard. So I'm interested to know what you guys feel about this. Now, like I said, I've been listening to the guys talk about their trip to Puerto Rico, which is awesome, and just talking about the beauty and some of the photos. If you guys go check out, if you haven't already, I highly advise going and looking at Bigg's Golf Talk and the GolfFather and Bigg Jon Vic, both of their social media accounts, and look at some of these photos that were taken on this trip. I am telling you, some of the most beautiful scenery. And so for people that say that there isn't really a good part of Puerto Rico because of the hurricanes and the mass destruction, that is a lie. And it actually is just a very cool place for golf. The golf course itself is set up very cool. So the golf course is the Grand Reserve at Cocoa Beach. And it's the way it's set up. So this is why I was really drawn in. So Hovland birdied the 18th hole, and that's what gave him the one-stroke win over the second place guy. I think his name is Josh. The course is set up to get after it, and up until the last spot, it gives you an opportunity to score. And I like courses like that. I like courses that you don't have to hurry on the front nine because the back nine doesn't provide any ability to make a run for it. And so you have a lot of golf to play out there. And that's what's, I think, a really good golf course. Like I said, all the way around, just a cool place. And I really, really want to know what you guys think and why that they're overlapping these events. I'm not saying that the Mexico City Championship isn't beautiful as well and awesome, but let's separate these events and make it a 2-week span. Let's get this purse for Puerto Rico a little higher. Even if you are going to overlap them, you can afford to have a bigger purse at this event. So I'm not really sure why they're not getting, whether it's they're not getting the sponsors, whether they're not getting the crowds, although the guys once again said that everybody was there, people were there. Just a really cool thing. So let me know what you guys think about this. I would love to have a discussion about the so-called Puerto Rico event. And I really, really, really have taken a liking to Viktor Hovland. So I didn't really know much about him, and I kind of watched his play. He's very composed. He's very seasoned for being as young as he is. He's just very consistent. I was reading his stats through his amateur play and then turning pro, and he's just right there. Always one after the other, and he's making these finishes. It's one thing for someone to go out and win a tournament. Not to discredit that, that's awesome. You obviously are a great player if you're winning. But they have a win, and then it's like the one-hit wonder, and then you don't really ever see him. But he's always right there. Top 25s, top 10s. Like, he's always right in the hunt, and I think that's huge for your golf career. That is something that will let you know that you are ready to be there and you're ready to play. If you're not even sniffing the top very often and you just happen to slap around a good round, that's a lot different than being consistent and putting up good scores week after week after week. So I advise everyone to go pay attention to Viktor. I think his career is nowhere near what it will bloom into. So I'm excited about that. So I would love to hear from everyone. You guys keep writing into my DMs. My Instagram is arobertsongolf. Don't forget to tag me in any funny or awesome or controversial golf stuff going on social media. I love to see it from you guys, and I appreciate it. Also, write into Bigg's Golf Talk. You can put in the subject line "On Par with Amanda." I would love to get your feedback, and let's chat. Maybe I'll bring you on my segment so we can have a little talk. Hope everyone is having a great weekend, and we will talk to you until next week. Keep swinging for par.
That was a great segment by Amanda Robertson. Keep swinging for par, people. Keep swinging for par. On Par with Amanda, sponsored by Backswing Golf Events. Listen, folks, if you're looking for classy ladies to come and raise money for your event, or your charity, as a matter of fact. BackswingGolfEvents.com is the only place you need to go to and book these lovely ladies for your event to raise money and entertain the golfers in your event. Backswing Golf Events is the place for your event today.
Having a corporate or charity golf event? Backswing Golf Events can supply your tournament with personable, professional golfers to entertain and fundraise on the golf course. They can accommodate any size group, whether it be 3 players to 500. They are your team. From range lessons, Beat the Pro, and Pro-Am style roaming, they're making lasting memories one swing at a time. So make sure to check out BackswingGolfEvents.com or call us direct at 661-316-3093 and book your pros now.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap, already providing over 10,000 scholarships. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
Golf is a dirty game. It's time to clean it up with Ready Pot, the only putter cover with a built-in ball cleaner and magnetic surface. Clean balls roll accurately, meaning you make more putts. Sink more, swear less. Clean up your game with Ready Pot.
This is Bigg's Golf Talk with Bigg Jon Vick and Bill the GolfFather Cuebas.
That was a great segment by Amanda Robertson. On par with Amanda and Bigg Jon Vick, along with Bill the GolfFather Cuebas, as we are doing our Discover Puerto Rico wrap-up show, part 2,
yes,
because we just did not have enough time in our live show. So
no, we can do that for a month.
Right.
We can have 8 hours.
Oh,
easy.
Yeah,
content. Easy. And this is just the first time that we're doing it. There's
right.
going to be more. There's going to be a lot more.
Absolutely. Well, we are still here in Puerto Rico recording this show, part of our show.
Yep.
And right now we are at TPC Dorado Beach, and we just got finished coming off the course. And later on we're going to talk to a caddy about what we were doing and all that stuff and what they do out here, for caddy, if you will.
Yes.
And it was just a phenomenal property here. And right now we're going to talk to the director of golf, Jeff Willenberg, with TPC Dorado Beach. Jeff, welcome into Bigg's Golf Talk, my friend.
Thank you. Pleasure being here.
Talk about, first off, so for those that don't understand the TPC part, we see many golf courses with that, affixed to their name. What does TPC stand for?
Tournament Players Club. That's the actual TPC, and it's the parent company of the PGA Tour. And so Dorado Beach is actually licensed with that deal. So we're not managed by TPC. There's some clubs in the network that are managed by the TPC. We are licensing. We pay for that license. And we just renewed the contract for another 10 years. We've been very happy with that. They've been very happy with us. And the whole purpose of that, obviously, is to bring more golfers here to Puerto Rico.
Now, I got a quick question. We were having dinner the other night with one of the guys that played in the Puerto Rico Open and stuff like that. And he was talking about, why he moved back to Puerto Rico because he was in West Palm Beach, Jupiter area, but he needed to come back home. He wanted to come back home to Puerto Rico and play. And he mentioned that in places, because of the PGA Tour status that he has, they have like special memberships for you guys. Is that part of that TPC?
Absolutely. So if you're an active member on any of the PGA sanctioned tours, whether it be the PGA Tour, the Latino Tour, China Tour, the Canadian PGA Tour, all of them have a membership. So when they come and play, they provide a list to us on an annual basis, and we provide complimentary golf for them. We give them discounts in the golf shop and food and beverage. Some of the other TPC properties provide even more. At TPC Sawgrass, they actually have lockers and things like that. So it's kind of different from property to property. But yes, they are essentially a member when they come here.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure when we were speaking, because it was just all over the place, and I wanted to make sure that I understood that particular thing. That's good information.
By the way, I don't know if you remember, but as our Fore caddy, Rafael, took us back into the clubhouse to record this interview, we seen Chichi Rodriguez's house.
Yes.
Or formerly,
former
house. He
Former
just
house.
sold it.
He just sold it.
To move back to Jupiter.
Yes. I wouldn't have.
What does that say about this property, though? I mean, when you have a Chichi Rodriguez just right off the property here,
I don't want to leave.
I know.
I love it here.
It's gorgeous.
I love it here.
Course is in phenomenal shape.
It is beautiful. The weather is perfect.
Jeff, let me ask you. I mean, so mainstream media for months have been saying Puerto Rico's hurting. Puerto Rico's hurting. You know, don't go to Puerto. You know, there's nothing going on in Puerto Rico as far as tourism goes. Yeah. However, we are here, and I'm seeing totally the opposite. Everything's in phenomenal shape. Tourism should be coming here and throwing money back into the economy. I mean, after all, Puerto Rico is America. It's part of the United States. Should be throwing money right back into here.
No money exchange, no nothing.
What do you say? I mean, you're here. You've been here. You went through both disasters that did roll through here. What would you tell the listeners out there?
Well, we from Maria, which was in 2017, and we had a golf course open 3 weeks after the storm, and both courses were open 30 days later. Obviously, we had a lot of challenges. There was a lot of challenges island-wide, and other things we had to get to, but we were pretty much open. Our clubhouse became a community. We were feeding people. We were feeding at one point almost 400 people a day.
Wow!
While we were still trying to recuperate power, water, we were able to get water trucks in for fresh water for our residents and for our employees. We were feeding our employees daily so they'd come into work and get the golf courses back in shape, get the rest of the property back in shape. So it was a phenomenal effort on our part, and the leaders of the club just did a great job turning this thing around and getting us back on our feet. And because of the new tax laws that are in Puerto Rico, it's called Act 22. Maybe you guys have heard about it. There's a lot of incentives to come down here and relocate, and we had an explosion of memberships over the last 18 months, and a lot of statessiders are moving down here, building or buying homes. They're relocating their families. They got them in schools, and Dorado's a perfect place because it has everything inside the resort, and it has some of the top private schools in Puerto Rico that their children can attend. And then, of course, we had the earthquakes that started at the beginning of this year, and actually 2019 was one of the best years we've had in recent memory. As we completed our recovery efforts with Maria, we were building the club, and then the earthquake started. But unfortunately, the earthquakes were on the south side of the island. It did not affect the north side, which is where most of the resorts are. So, unfortunately, people down in the south side really took the brunt of that, but the whole island was affected from a tourism standpoint. And it has affected us, but there's been no damage here, and we're actually starting to see a return of a lot of the resort guests and golfers, and so I'm very excited about the next 90 days as we continue the season, and hopefully it continues to build and the weather stays nice. It's for us, it's been a very wet season for us, and it's probably been more of an impact than the earthquakes, but both have equally been a challenge.
Now we were playing. We crossed through the beach. You had a nice little cabana at the turn over there. Yeah. It was packed everywhere we went. Everywhere we go on, people were jogging. Through the beach area, the beach people.
That's one thing I've noticed throughout the property. We have strollers walking through the property here.
It's perfect.
So it's just not a golf resort, but it's like you described.
It's a community resort.
Yeah,
very high end, and the Reserve, which has won several awards, and we have won several awards as well. USA Today will rank number 1 in the Caribbean. Just came out, and. Golf Magazine ranked us number 5 of luxury resorts in the United States, right, like 3 spots below Pebble Beach. Wow. So Dorado, we are doing very well, and of course we'd love to see more people down.
Now I got a quick question. You touched on the fact a lot of people don't know about this tax incentive for people to move here.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit? It doesn't have to be in detail.
So it's basically if it's open to anyone who wants to come down here, and if they have to live here a minimum of 6 months of the year. There's some parameters that are in place as far as purchasing homes, those type of things, and that you basically don't have to pay very minimal capital gains tax. There's a couple other incentives too, and it's really taken off. We have people from all over the United States that are moving down here, whether from California, Colorado, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, New York. They're coming from everywhere and taking advantage of this. And what we're finding is that these people are becoming full-time residents. They're not. They go away for the summertime and they'll vacation, but they're down here most of the year. They have their kids in school, but they don't. If they're families, you're down here pretty much the whole year.
We in Florida, it's like our snowbirds. We'll have the people that come from the colder climates come there, stay there for 4, 5, 6 months, and then they'll take off when the summer comes.
Yeah. So that doesn't really happen here, and we have a big portion. We have 1,200 memberships.
Okay.
And I think still about 65-70% of the members are actually Puerto Rican, so they live here year round. So we don't have that drop off. I can do as many rounds as October as I do as in February.
That's awesome.
But I just do different. This is a different mix. You know, in the higher season we have more resort rounds.
Now with the resort, how many people can actually at one time rent? You know, the spaces. How many rooms do they have available?
That's a good question. I want to say they have 104. The reserve has 114 rooms. Plus, they also have we have villas there as well that are in their inventory. I'm not quite sure how many there are, but it's big enough to when it's busy, and they can bring a lot of hotel rounds to us. So
you find a lot of people doing the business trips around here because it's really close to the airport. How close are we to the airport?
So we're 25-30 minutes without traffic to the airport. It's very quick. It's all highway.
It really is. It was really all highway. We got on one highway to get on another highway, and then when you go in, it's like you're going into this beautiful paradise. As we got closer, it became more trees and woods and narrowing roads, and then all of a sudden it opens up.
Yeah, so the history of this property is extremely interesting. Clara Livingston was the original family owner, and actually she was very close friends with Amelia Earnhardt. This was one of the last places that Amelia stayed before she started her last voyage over the Pacific Ocean. She was Clara was an aviator as well. There used to be an airport here on property, and actually it was in use in the late 50s and 60s when Dorado first opened. When Mr. Rockefeller opened it, and they would fly in the movie stars and all that. If you go up to the restaurant upstairs, you'll see some of the photos from those days.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And there's also some pictures of Chi-Chi back in the day as well.
Time's flying by as we're having fun here in Puerto Rico at TPC Dorado Beach. Let's talk about the nuts and crannies of the property here, and that's the golf course. What type of golf course do we have here at TPC Dorado Beach?
We have two great golf courses. The East Course, which is the iconic course, is considered one of the best golf courses in the Caribbean. It's hosted several PGA tournaments. It's the one in the ocean when you gentlemen were playing. Robert Trent Jones Sr. originally designed it in 1958. And then Robert Trent Jones Jr. came in 2011 and did a full renovation. So there were some changes, but most of the golf course was redone back to the original setup, the way that Mr. Jones Sr. had designed. The golf course was somewhat lengthened. We introduced Champions Bermuda greens so the the putting greens perform superior to a typical Bermuda grass green. Be more closer to what you see in Bent, which you guys see up north.
Yes.
And you probably noticed today how fast the greens were. We can get the greens up to 10.5 to 11 on the snip meter, which is very fast.
And that's what I'm used to in New Mexico.
That's what I'm used to in Florida.
Right.
I'm used to that stuff. By far, your greens right now from all the courses that we played are the best. They are. You can't deny it. They are the best. And they were consistent. Yeah. And a lot of people that travel, that's one of their number one complaints. No consistency in the greens.
And by the way, was our four caddies on point with giving us breaks?
Always.
Always. They knew it.
If we hit the spot, they told us.
And you were golfing with us, so you were actually enjoying some of it.
But you see how fast they do it?
Yeah.
What takes fools like me and you, 5 minutes. No, I think it's going to do this. Man, they go here. They go look at
pace of play.
Exactly.
Yeah. My next question. How important is pace of play to you here at TPC Dorado?
It's extremely important. I think every golf professional has challenges with it. We introduced the GPS. We have we have laptops now at the starter booth, so the starters have a better understanding of where the golf carts are, and they can be more proactive. We have rangers out there, and it's a challenge, particularly for us because resort play and member play are two different things. Members can play fast; they're familiar with the golf course; they can play quick. Resort guests are going to be a lot slower,
right?
Because they don't know the golf course. They're there to enjoy. They're there to take pictures and all that. That's why we allow. That's why we make the caddies play with resort guests because they help with pace of play. But pace of play is our biggest challenge, and we're constantly on top of that, and using the GPS really helps with that.
So when you say you have the difference between the members and the guests, I've gone to a lot of courses where they'll have several courses. The members will have a course, and they won't let anybody on that course for that day, which sometimes runs into a problem because I've played in courses where, because of the member way they mix, I didn't get to play all 3 courses, even though I was there for 4 days. Right. Do you guys allow guests to play in between the members?
So for the East Golf Course, we don't. We make tee times for both. We don't have a course separate from the other. Mm-hmm. What we do is like on Saturday mornings, we try to keep it blocked only for members, and we'll allow some hotel tee times.
Yeah, that's
most of our resort guests like to play on the weekdays anyway. Most of them are traveling or arriving on the weekends, and they stay for the week. So it's usually not a big problem. Every now and then we have issues, but. We are scheduled to build another golf course down the road in the next 2 or 3 years. And
this is a huge property.
It's a big property. And what I really like when we first drove to the first tee, you guys had art everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
and I was like,
it was a scenic view going to the first tee.
And I stopped and I was reading the signage on the stuff on that. We got a little bit of background on it. Can you give us more about it? What people are going to see when they drive to
it? So the person that's driving that said that the organization is called First Start, and the person that drives it is the wife of one of our owners. Her name is Carolina Stube. And so she's very active with that, and we partner with her. We do all kinds of events with them and promote the art. And it's not just on the golf course; it's throughout the property. She has different designers that come down and. She tries to blend the golf and nature to
really
to
does,
her works.
because it is the most unique. I've never seen it anywhere we've gone, and I think it adds a lot of character to it. At first, I was taken back. I was like, "Why is that thing right in the middle of the fairway?" And I was like, then our caddy got to Fore Caddie. He got
that hole is not really in play. We have it in shape, but it's not. That's part of will be the West Course one day.
But I think it's great. I mean, you're utilizing the space instead of just seeing this space. It's great to see art
and the view. I mean, it's different.
It is. That's what I mean.
This is why people on the mainland need to come and discover Puerto Rico.
They do. They really need to see a different way. And it's part of our country. It is part of the United States. I don't care what anybody. This is the United States. Right. It was the easiest thing that we could have done. I feel comfortable. I've gotten offers to go out of the country. I will not travel for golf, minus Ireland. Is the only place I will go to golf. I've been, come here. No. Come here. No. I'm not going anywhere. There's so much golf within the United States to keep my money right here. Yeah. This is where I want to keep my money. I want to keep it states.
No passport needed.
Nothing.
No. That's the powerful statement, and it's something that we all embrace down here on the resort side. You do not need a passport. They're just the little things, like you can ship your clubs down here. It's like shipping them to Miami.
Right.
Ship them here to San Juan, to Dorado. So, I mean, it's in a lot of ways, we're just an exotic part of the United States.
It is. And that's the thing, part of the United States. And we have to take away that stereotypical thought that that's not part. They are part of the United States. The Commonwealth is still part of the United States.
Now, my favorite hole was hole 4. The most scenic hole.
I got my notes. You got your notes? I got notes.
You got a scorecard right here.
I got a scorecard. I mean, I wrote my notes of what I want to do hole by hole. Some of the questions I got asked, but we're going to ask anyway because our listeners don't know about it.
Right.
So I'm going to run a couple quick questions. You can just get short answers. My first question was when I was driving through and we were seeing all the hole names. You have every single hole has a different hole name. What are they? What do they mean? What are they about?
So most of it's all part of the plant life. So it's like the number 1, the Uvade Paya. I believe that is the sea grape, right? That's the sea grape that you see along the stretch of the beach.
Yep.
So every hole that has a name to it is there's a tree or a plant that is on that hole.
And on number 3, there was a special tree. What was the tree that you were talking about?
That area is called the Petrocarpus forest.
Okay.
And I think that's...
Was it 3 and 4?
Yeah, Petrocarpus. Yes. So to the right, those trees are ancient trees. They've been there for centuries. And it goes through 3 and through hole number 4.
And the best way that I was able to describe it is we have cypress trees that are really old in Florida from when it was underwater. So that's almost what that root system looks like, with the roots actually above the ground. Yeah. So that was the closest. That's why I was like, what kind of tree is that? It looked like a cypress tree.
Yeah. And there's some I know hole number 5, if you played at the Ceba, that's a beautiful tree that's right off on the right. Massive tree right by the lake. So so that's what the name is. And the idea was to show there's just more than a golf course that we're showcasing.
And so you're talking about 18 different species of trees and stuff.
Yeah.
What is considered the signature hole?
So 4 is the signature hole, right? And that is the asubo, which are the trees to the right of the tee box there.
Yep.
And the beautiful white bark trees.
Yep.
And like you guys talked about on that hole, it's a 3 dog leg. We call it the Z hole, which we talked about earlier. And it's just a great risk reward hole. And from where we played it on the tees, it's a hole that if you hit a good drive, you have an opportunity to go for the green, but it's a lot of risk. And your second shot's very risky too. For me, that's always been a great mark of a par 5 is where you really have to think about your second shot.
And for the record, Jeff made the green in 2.
Yes.
Just for the record.
Yeah, he did. I made the water in 2. Does that count? I made the water.
We had a golfer that hit in the water and skipped out onto the side of the green.
That was true, yes, but it wasn't mine.
Yeah, it wasn't our shot. Oh.
All right, Biggs, we're running out of time. We only got a couple minutes left.
Did you have another question?
Well, my other question was about memberships. We touched on it just a little bit. You guys your membership's been rising.
Yes.
And where can people find out about Dorado memberships? Where can we direct them to? Where do you want our listeners to go?
So you have our information. The website has everything, has all the information, not only to the membership, but also the real estate. Also, it also links to the hotel. So it has everything there. And that's what I recommend you go to. And then it has all the phone numbers you need to reach our membership offices for more information.
So what Jeff is talking about is DoradoBeach.com.
Right.
That's where he wants you to go to DoradoBeach.com. You can find out all the information, see beautiful pictures.
Great information, some pictures. And
it's a great...
We are going to actually have a photo gallery of our Discover Puerto Rico trip.
I only got
a part of it.
About 70 or 80 pictures so far. So mine are minimal. I think I got a picture of about 4 caddies.
Yes.
I think I took 1 or 2 with them.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we took a couple.
Exactly.
It's a good thing.
All right, well, speaking of 4 caddies, coming up next, Rafael Courtwright.
Yes.
Wait a minute, what? Hold on. Courtwright? In Puerto Rico?
Yeah, we're going to have to find out about that.
We're going to find out more about that. Coming up next here on Bigg's Golf Talk, going into hour number 2. Jeff Willenberg, thank you. Can you stick around in case we have any questions during the interview with Rafael?
Sure.
Perfect. All right, more Bigg's Golf Talk coming your way from Puerto Rico. Go golf. Go travel. Go dine. Go spying. Go surfing. Go swimming. Most of all, go golfing. More Bigg's Golf Talk coming your way right after this. A golf ball that performs for you. The Encore Avant 55, hot off the tee, a formulated core that delivers more energy and utilizes soft cell technology to achieve ultra-low 55 compression. This blend of innovation and simplicity provides more distance and greater feel. The Caliber, maximum accuracy. A patent hollow metal core creates significant rifle spin while reducing side spin, allowing the ball to travel along a straighter trajectory. The Encore Elixir Tour Ball, hot list winner. The premium cast urethane cover delivers a soft and pure feel off the club face and gives the Elixir ultimate greenside control, durability, and unmatched putting performance. Be sure to check out their combo packages and sign up for the loyalty program. Gift cards are also available. For more information, their website is www.encoregolf.com. And be more with Encore.
Golf Dots is a unique, high-resolution ink transfer to personalize your golf game. Golf balls, golf shoes, clubs, Golf Dots can personalize it for you. Golf Dots conforms to USGA rules and doesn't alter the trajectory of your golf ball. Tour proven on all major tours, Golf Dots is designed and made in America. Many styles to choose from that will fit every golfer's personality. New styles are being released on a regular basis. To order your Golf Dots, visit www.golfdots.com, and enter promo code BiggJon15. That's Bigg Jon, BiGGJON 15 for a discount on your Golf Dots. Golf Dots is available in many golf shops, such as the PGA Tour Superstore. The website for Golf Dots is www.golfdots.com. That is golf.dots.com, or call 847-829-4238. Personalize your golf game today with Golf Dots.
Hey, this is Boxer Shorts, and I've got some big news. Bigg's Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. You can download their app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Bigg's Golf Talk. And make sure while you're there that you favorite us so that you'll know when we're on. Join all the other millions of listeners on iHeartRadio and listen to Bigg's Golf Talk. We're the best. Right.
Welcome back to Bigg's Golf Talk. This segment is sponsored by Scorpion 21. Feel the sting. Billy and I felt this thing in Puerto Rico. Discover Puerto Rico. Go golfing, go dining, go gambling. Just go to Puerto Rico. Scorpion21.com is the website. Bill, the GolfFather Cuebas, Bigg Jon, Vic back with you. And we are doing a post Discover Puerto Rico show.
Yes.
As we head back, and first show back since we were in Puerto Rico, and then we were actually recording this segment in Puerto Rico because we had so much going on, Bill the GolfFather Cuebas, that couldn't get everything in a live show.
2 hours is not enough. Not for Discover Puerto Rico. We needed a lot more time. We're visiting a lot of places like Dorado right now, and we need that. We need to get a lot more information. That's why we stopped golfing. We want to get the information out. It's important that this is a beautiful place, and people need to know it. And It's not in the shape that they're saying that it is stateside. The things that we're hearing back home is nothing from what we've seen. And we've been running, we've driven from 45 minutes one way to an hour and change the other way. We haven't seen anything that they've talking back about in the stateside that's disaster here everywhere. We haven't seen it. It's beautiful.
As we kick off hour number 2 here on Bigg's Golf Talk, you just heard us talk to Jeff Willenberg. He was the director of golf for Dorado Beach. Well, you and I had a great opportunity. We had 2 caddies with us that joined our group at Dorado Beach when we played the golf course, and what a phenomenal job they did.
Yes, Rafael was my favorite. He's from the Bronx like me, So I liked it. We had a good time out there. To come back. This is my first time in Puerto Rico, so being brought up and raised in Spanish Harlem, in New York City. I had no ambitions to come here from all the negative stuff that I've heard through the years. And you saw when we were coming here on our very first trip, the first thing we hear, from the people that are checking us in, oh, that's an international flight. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's the United States. Oh, no, it's international. No, it's United States. No. And he argued and he went and checked. And he was like, oh, yeah, you could check in here. So there's a lot of misconceptions stateside. And I've grown up.
We talked about that in the opening, about the misconceptions, and as we traveled to Puerto Rico and what people thought was an international trip, and it was not an international trip.
No
you
passport,
could take
nothing.
no passport, take your driver's license, state ID, whatever it is that you use for your government official
it's
ID.
It's home.
And
it's home. It's part of the United States. And the thing is, everybody's worried about going here, going there, and going to all these other places. We can go within the United States without no hassle, none of those crazy worries that a lot of people worry about. We're here. What do we hear? Oh, the earthquakes, this, you're going to feel this. What happened to this happen? None of it happened. There's none of it going on. The news is showing things of disaster, and this fell down, that fell down. Okay, one thing maybe, but you're going to cripple a country because of it. It's crazy for the Latin.
Now, as people heard on our last show, the live one that we did from Wyndham, we talked about what the recovery was like for Hurricane Maria, and what the clubhouse and all that stuff, the golf course, phenomenal shape for being recovered from the hurricane that was underwater. They were underwater at some point.
Oh yeah, and you think you hear they had some problems here on this golf course allegedly, and we're looking at it and we're like, huh? Are you serious? What are you talking about?
Well, we did see that beam that was embedded in the tree.
That was fascinating.
And the pictures are on our social media.
We have the pictures. That just shows you the power that hit this place.
Right.
And for it to look the way it is and the course to be in the shape that it is, it's crazy. It's phenomenal.
So what does a caddy do here at Dorado Beach? Well, I'll tell you, they do a lot more than you think.
Oh, yeah. Well, we use them as Fore caddies.
Yes.
So they have multiple hats that they wear, per se. So, they can do caddying. Yeah, they're going to carry bags. We had carts. We're lazy a little bit. So, we had a Fore caddy. We went out and got to tour and do the first 9 with him.
And they were great guys. Both of them were great guys.
Join us now because he is from the Bronx, New York. He's selected, and he's joining us right now in our studio, homemade studio here.
Homemade studio, yes.
Yeah, Dorado Beach. Raphael Courtright is joining us. Probably the only Courtright in the
you know what? He's the first
state of New Mexico. Puerto Rico.
We're in Puerto Rico. You live in.
I live in New Mexico. Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I've never heard that. I've never heard that name. And
that's not even a.
Where did it come about? The Courtright.
Well, Raphael, welcome to the show, bud.
Thank you for having me, guys. Actually, the Courtrights in my family are from Puerto Rico. Because in English, a guy came from the islands.
Yep.
And he built a sugar refinery here in the 1800s. And by that time, he got some slaves working for him in the sugar refinery. Mm-hmm. And when he set them free, they kept the last name. And the ones that stay here make family. That's where my family comes from. So actually, that Cuebas is from Puerto Rico, northwest part of the island.
That's awesome. I've never heard of it. I have family all over the place in here in Puerto Rico. I've never heard of.
We mentioned that you lived in the Bronx for a while.
Yes.
And you moved back to Puerto Rico. How long you been back in Puerto Rico?
38 years now.
Okay.
You've been back?
I came here when I was 3 years old, and I go back on vacation a couple of times to see my family on my father's side, but most of the time I stay here.
Okay. And we've been seeing that a lot, because a lot of people that we've been interacting with, they have gone back to the city, into the States, and come back to Puerto Rico. So, and that just gives testament. You can do that. You know why? Because you're a United States citizen.
Right.
So no matter what they're saying, or international, you're United States. You're born here.
You want to go back and forth every single weekend, you can do so.
Whatever you want, when you want, just like every other United States.
You need a plane ticket. That's what you need.
That's what you need.
You need a plane ticket and a driver's license, hopefully, to get through, through customs, whatever the hell they're going to have for that particular time when you check in. We got.
Raphael, you were around when the hurricanes hit. You were around when the earthquake struck.
Yep.
Mass media obviously overblowing with the situation a lot. Phenomenal property here. Mm-hmm. It's in phenomenal shape. What would you tell the listeners out there when it comes to discover Puerto Rico, traveling to Puerto Rico, vacationing in Puerto Rico, golfing in Puerto Rico?
I think it's, for the people from the States, it's easy to get here. Flights every day. Mm-hmm. No custom, no passport, no change of currency.
Nope.
Pretty much everybody in the island can talk a little bit of English. It's safe for tourists, nice properties. So you just need to come here and book great golf courses all over the island.
Amazing,
especially here on Dorado Beach. Mm-hmm. So come, they need to come and see.
Yes, firsthand. And this course, you are a Fore Caddie. Can you just describe what's the difference between a Fore Caddie and an actual Caddie? Because there's two different things that you do.
Two descriptions.
We use the Fore Caddie today. Can you describe for our listeners what a Fore Caddie actually does?
Okay, but usually a Fore Caddie works for a foursome. So Fore Caddie, what he do is on the tee box, he gives some pointers of the guests where to hit. What is the best line, what the wind is doing, how to play the course. And when they get ready to hit, he just start walking and running about 150 yards away from them in a blind spot so that he can see the ball. And he make the signals because they can't see from the tee box where the ball lands. If you have a bunker, you make some signal.
He make a great umpire. He was like, save!
Yeah, we saw that from far away. Yes.
And then you make sure that when they're going to be driving a car, so when they get to the ball, you already have the distance to the flag or the distance to the layup. And then after they hit that, you need to have the putters in your hand. So whenever they get around the greens, you can either rake the bunkers and change the club with them, so you can give them the putter and then you can have the wedge. And after that, you help them with the lines around the greens.
And then with the caddy, you're actually carrying the bags because people want to walk. Yes. So that would be the difference basically between riding and then...
When you're carrying a bag, you are more close to the player every time, but you always need to be a step ahead. Because you never want the guests to wait for you. Even if you're carrying the bag, you need to be a couple steps ahead. So when he gets, you have everything ready because pace of play is very important.
It is.
Well, I was just going to say, we talked to Jeff in the previous segment about pace of play here. One thing we noticed on our GPS unit that was in our car.
10 minutes.
that it was telling you, keep up pace. You're this amount of, this pace back,
and you need that, because we've been victim many times when we play 5.5, 6 hour rounds, and you're sitting behind the people like, okay, now when is this going to end? And it takes all the fun out. For us, lucky, this course is beautiful, so we had the pace of play, and we still had time to take our pictures, stop and look at the ocean because it was beautiful, looking at the housing because some of the houses on this property are incredible. So we were blessed that we got to do that and still keep our time.
One of the things that people don't know, especially golfers that just want to take a golf vacation and just want to do golf and want to experience the caddy part of it, Bill and I has had this conversation many times about tipping, about tipping your caddy and tipping them adequately.
Absolutely, yeah.
What's the average suggested tip for a Fore caddy or a caddy?
In this property, recommended tip is going to be $30 per player with a Fore caddy. If you have a caddy carrying the bag, it's $60 per player average tip.
And that's basically about stateside.
And that's worth it.
It is. Absolutely. Because that's what they've had in some of the places that we played in. We've done that. There's certain places where we played stateside that you have no choice. You have to have them, and they dictate everything what you do. So in addition to this and that, you have.
Well, I don't know if you were around, but Raphael and I were talking during the round, and you were telling me that non-members are required to have Fore caddies, aren't they?
But I think it's a great thing.
It helps with pace of play.
Absolutely. We come here, we don't know where to go.
Right.
I mean, some of the directions that they told us to hit, if we looked at it, we're like, well, you crazy, we're not going to do that.
Right.
But when you know, like, one of the biggest things, you've got to have faith in these guys. They do it every day.
Yeah.
Well, you're always going to have that one guy that, I know what I'm doing. No, you really don't. Because the directions that they gave us, when we didn't hit, because we're that.
Well, look at the 130 yard, he gave us a yardage of 130. He says, use your 140 club.
Yep.
And we're like looking at each other.
Really?
Okay. All right.
And you just got
trust
to have faith.
it. Trust it, and it happened.
Yeah. And
we used the 140 club. Boom.
Every time we missed our mark, we paid for it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You're going to pay. If you don't do it, you're going to pay. If you want to shoot the right way and enjoy and maximize your enjoyment here, you got to listen to these guys.
And in no way, Raphael, are you telling them how to golf.
No.
But you're just giving them tips on where to hit their shots and what the distance is, what the distance to the hazard are. Pretty much you're their human GPS.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what he did. It's 125, but I think you want to go up a club or a club and a half. Maybe it is.
Except for it comes with an extra amenity because they're giving you a suggestion.
But that's the thing. They tell you where to hit. You saw when we were hitting on the green. Hit 6 feet over here. We hit 7 and we're just off. You hit 8, you're this.
And for the record, they're not guesstimating yardage either. They do have a laser on it.
They know. They're up ahead. And the thing is, they're so fast that we don't see what they're doing before we walk up.
Right.
So a lot of times you miss what they're actually doing and working because they're running. They were splitting. Pew! And we're looking like, okay, where is he? There he is. So they're already way ahead of us, which was perfect. Because when we got there, we just pull our clubs, swing, and kept going.
How long have you been at Dorado Beach?
As a caddy, I've been here for the last 9 years. I used to work here when we have casinos on the property. I used to work here before.
Oh, okay.
And what do you enjoy caddying?
I love caddying. It's the only thing I do. It started as a seasonal job, but it's getting more to the whole year.
Seasonal? Wait a minute, seasonal?
It's Puerto Rico.
Isn't it 365 days a year?
But that's what he said. It used to be. Now he's here all the time. I can see it all the time. I mean, it's beautiful out here. Like winter in Florida. We have winter.
Well, the other thing is, when he was with our group, so not only was he concentrating on our golf aspect of it, but he was letting us know, get your cameras ready. We're about to come up to our hole that you're going to love to take pictures
This
at.
is the signature. Or you can look back at that hole and you can take a picture there. So we were already prepared. It wasn't like, we got a maze. We looked at it. Now we got to run to get our camera.
We even had a conversation about, just about 5 minutes away, you can buy some fresh fish.
Yes. And us, we're like, hey, how come that water's so clear? Is it from the ocean? Is this? Oh, it's man-made. Is this? What kind of fish is that? Oh, there's turtles. So there's a lot of life inside this property, which was cool to find out. Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that I really enjoyed was the conversation. So you're here as a caddy, but you become a friend because he truly has become a friend of ours.
Yeah, and we talked about that as well.
He's very personable. And his partner too.
Yes,
they both were very
Joshua.
personable. So it wasn't a part of their job.
No.
It just naturally happened.
That's what I'm saying. You tend to gravitate towards them because their personality is the biggest thing. You got to have a personality to do this job. And it got to get tiring eventually. We do this for a living all the time. It gets tiring sometimes. We get beat down from doing it repetitively. But when you meet people like him that are excited what they do and how they do it, because they weren't scheduled to be guests. This wasn't our show. Our show was for Friday, so we decided we're going to throw it in extra.
And if I may, we actually provide training for them on all of the developments going on in the hotel, because the caddies spend more time with the hotel guests than anybody else does.
I agree.
They spend 5-6 hours a day with them playing golf, and if they're here for 3 or 4 days, then they're with them, and usually they go with the same people throughout.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing.
So they spend more time with them than the ambassadors do at the hotel. So these gentlemen are in fact ambassadors. They can talk about the property. They can tell you what's being built.
And they have.
And
that's what was special about it.
A very, very important part of what they do. They're really not caddies. I call them ambassadors. We call them Fore caddies because you understand.
Jeff, that is a perfect description of them because they are truly ambassadors of the property.
We've had caddies before, and they truly are ambassadors, and that's proper for us. That's why we found out. We knew what we wanted to do when we got here, how we want to help discover Puerto Rico. That was the biggest thing for us. That's why when we opted to step away from the golf to make sure that we got this information out, because it's important. You know what I mean? People, this experience has been totally different.
Right, and actually with the caddies, we're the only golf course now on the island that provides that. I think there's a property out in the west side that has it, but for the major resorts, and this is, for me, it's really needed. It's amazing. We sell this to our groups. Sometimes they think, do we really need a caddy and all that? And when we go through the process, yes, you do. And then what happens is, and when they play the other golf course, which you don't need to have one, usually, a lot of times they'll take the caddies with them on the other golf course as well. And the service and all the things you gentlemen are talking about that these guys do is just incredible. And it's our whole team. Rafi and a couple others are some of our top guys, but our whole crew. We only have 12. We only have 12 guys.
Oh, wow.
And so these gentlemen during the high season, sometimes they're doing double loops and things like that, but it's their passion. And we are seasonal. There's time that in the summertime, even though it stays warm, we're not quite as busy on the resort side. But now a lot of our members use our caddies as well. So they're typically, he's caddying most of the year, but this time of year is when we're caddying more.
That's awesome.
That was the voice of Jeff Willenberg, as you heard him in the previous segment. Guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Bigg's Golf Talk. Thank you, Rafael. We appreciate you. And, we have talked to professional PGA Tour caddies and stuff like that. We have him on the show.
We have a friend. We were talking to the other day. We were talking to him last night.
Jeff King is out here in Puerto Rico as well from King Ming Jerky.
Yes.
And he texted me and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, man. These caddies, ambassadors, are rock stars.
Yeah, over here,
TPC Dorado Beach.
Yeah, they're true ambassadors. It's a totally different experience. I've had caddies, like I said, everywhere, and this is a totally different experience. Totally different for me.
Website is DoradoBeach.com. TPC Dorado Beach. We highly recommend them. You can also give them a call at 787-626-1027. And yes, mainland, you can dial 1-787-626-1027.
It's an American
1027.
Number.
Yes, it is. More Bigg's Golf Talk coming your way right after this.
Early to rise, went through the pregame routine. Hit drives for more than just show. Yelled Fore to warn for balls unseen, and approached with a long way to go. Time to make the turn. First half is done. Time to make the turn. More fun to come. More gizmos and gadgets, we might not have been sat in the sand. The cart girls' drinks strained our budgets, but we got a birdie in the hand. Time to make the turn. First food and drink, and we're not talking pop. Head out knowing the back will be fine. Time to make the turn. First half is done. Time to make the turn. More fun to come, yeah. Time to make the turn. First half is done. Time to make the turn. More fun to come, yeah.
Still using an old golf GPS watch? It's time to upgrade to ShotScope. ShotScope isn't just a golf watch, it's a fully automated golf performance tracking system on your wrist. ShotScope gives you access to over 100 tour-level statistics. Get putting analysis, short game breakdown, even find out how far you're booming your driver. All data is captured automatically by the groundbreaking ShotScope golf performance tracking system. ShotScope, the ultimate golf watch. Find out more at shotscope.com.
Stop swinging out of your shoes and get squared up with Squares shoes. Balance, stability, accuracy, distance, and comfort. It all starts with a patented Squares toe that allows the golfer to set up properly on every shot, with more room in the forefoot area that provides full range of motion in your feet. Squares integrated a heel stabilizer system that assists with rotational torque. A custom removable insole integrates compression zones that match the pressure point areas, linking the inner sole all the way to the cleats. One of the most vocal concerns from golfers has been tying their shoes multiple times throughout a round. Stay put laces with the silicone squares printed down the lace that allows you to comfortably form the shoe to your foot and lock in place without having to adjust or retie during the round. So square up your shots with Squares shoes. It's hip to wear Squares. Their website is www.squares.com. That is SQAIRZ.com.
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.
Golf talk for golfers on Bigg's Golf Talk. Back to Bill the GolfFather Cuebas and Bigg Jon Vick.
Welcome back to Bigg's Golf Talk. This is Puerto Rico, Discover Puerto Rico Part 2. As we are back in studio, Bill the GolfFather Cuebas and Bigg Jon Vick just coming back from Puerto Rico. And Billy, what a great trip it was. But, you know, all the exposure that we had the live show, live from Wyndham, Rio Grande, Grand Rio Mar.
Yep.
And it was just a fabulous, fabulous time.
It was. Overall and everything, it went so fast, though.
Yeah.
Just like my entire trip. I haven't been back to Florida in, 17 days. I fly back later on this afternoon. So, yeah, it's been a long trip.
It has been a long trip for you. Back in the studio again and back in the saddle again. And I'll tell you what, I look back at the pictures.
Oh, my God.
And I have made notes because obviously not only are we doing a radio show, part 2 about this, but you and I are writing stories.
We got stories. We got all kinds of stuff
going on. A column
going
about it and everything else. So you're going to see that on the new Bigg's Golf Talk page.
That's right. It's going to be launching in a couple days.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to write about, too.
There's a lot of information.
A lot of it.
That's why we had to have a part 2.
Yes. Well, we might gotta have a part 3 and a part 4 with all this stuff too. I don't think it's going to stop yet.
But earlier on, we talked with Jeff Willenberg and Raphael, the Fore Caddie from
Dorado.
TPC Dorado.
Yes. That was a beautiful place out there as
beautiful place. So we got a chance to hear from some of them about the golf that's offered in Puerto Rico and a hotel that's the center of it.
Yes.
Essentially, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is just a fabulous, fabulous hotel at a resort on the northeast coast of Puerto Rico, and 500 acres. Get this, 500 acres of on-site recreational fun. Located between El Yunque, I hope I said that right, National Forest, a mile stretch of secluded beach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is, I mean,
I was on the beach.
Yeah.
Didn't we walk hand in hand on it?
We did.
We did, right?
Yeah, we did.
Just a little bit.
The Wyndham Grand Rio Mar Puerto Rico Golf and Beach Resort is a spectacular view, spectacular ocean, rainforest, and lush tropical views serve as backdrops to the 2 championship courses designed by Tom and George Fazio and Gregg Norman. And joining us on the line, we can't get enough information. We had to invite Wyndham Grand Rio Mar back on the show for part 2 because there was so much more information. Evie Garcia is the Director of Sales and Marketing. She was not able to join us at the live show, but she is here on the telephone line, and the segment is sponsored by Squares Golf. Squares Shoes is the absolutely must tool for your feet. The footwear that is going to help knock shots off your game. It's hip to wear Squares. All right, Evie Garcia joining us on the phone line right now. Good morning, Evie.
Buenos dias, Bigg Jon and Bill. How are you?
Buenos dias.
Buenos
dias. I missed that already.
I miss Puerto Rico.
I do.
It was too short. But I hear 2 laughs, so we know that she has somebody back there with us. You want to tell us who you have with you back there?
That's right. It's Ana Del Amo. She's our marketing manager, and the 2 of us were here and welcoming you for your stay at the Puerto Rico Open, and we can't wait till you guys come back.
We're coming
for
back.
Part 3 and part 4.
Yes.
One thing, exactly. I hope this is an annual thing for us because the more we get to see, the more we get to portray to the listeners that we're not just talking golf. We're talking a destination for vacations that you don't need a passport for. Just yesterday, I got a phone call from a friend of mine asking me if I was back in the country. I was like, what are you talking about? I've been in the country. I was just at an island in the country.
What was funny was when we went through into the airport when we were coming home, everybody, I would say, about 90% of the people had passports with their driver's license.
I would say 99%.
It was insane. I could not believe it. They all had their passports out with their license.
Nobody had a driver's license or a state ID in their hand. Every single person had a passport, and everybody's looking at us like we only have an ID in our hand.
We're crazy. Like, all we need is a driver's license to get through this, guys. And they were just amazed. I'm like, how do you not know where you're at? That's what baffled me. You're in the USA.
But that whole misconception is even at the airports.
It is. It really, truly is. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, we hit it both ways.
Yeah.
You know, coming back to our stateside or going there, it's just insane. It's just a huge misconception that really needs to be dealt with.
So people are going to hear us repeat.
Over.
It will not. It does not take a passport to go to Puerto Rico.
Nope.
And I mean,
that is
isn't that the biggest misconception, Evie?
Absolutely. We are part of the United States, so it's like if you're going to Florida or to Hawaii, so you don't need a passport to come here. The wonderful, one of the great ways to get to Puerto Rico is we have so much airlift from the United States because we're part of the U.S. So you can get here in just a couple of hours from Florida, the Northeast, 3 to 3.5 hours from the West Coast. It's just a one stop over, Midwest, and all the way south. There's direct flights. So all of the major carriers from the U.S. fly here, and because we're part of the U.S., most people speak English. We're bilingual. We have the same U.S. currency. We have, the same, you can go to some of your convenience stores and your supermarkets and your pharmacies and the same as you have in the mainland United States. So, it's just United States with Caribbean flair.
Well, what I don't understand, and especially now that I've been to Puerto Rico, I've been to both Mexico and Puerto Rico, is how many people are saying they're going to take a destination to Mexico where you need a passport, and it's not even an island. You're not getting that tropical atmosphere.
No, not at all.
Correct. So we are United States with a lot of palm trees, beautiful beaches, a lot of great cuisine, fun destination, part of the U.S. So all of your listeners, we want them to come over and visit us in Puerto Rico. It's very easy. There's wonderful airlift. There's great accommodations. There's so much to do for every member of the family. If you want to come to a beautiful resort like the Wyndham Grand Rio Mar and you want to play golf, that we have two, as you mentioned, two beautiful championship golf courses. But if you don't want to do golf, you can lay on the beach. We have a secluded beach, 2-mile stretch of Golden Sand Beach, and you can actually see it if you go to our website, wyndhamgrandriomar.com, and we have the webcam. And you can see, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know if you guys are doing that too,
Absolutely.
so you can
Yeah.
remember
Yes, we are.
both the beautiful beach, and also you can take a look at the golf courses and the tennis center, because we have a huge tennis center, 13 tennis courts there, and there's something to do for every member of the family here. From kids' activities to nature walks to, if you're into wellness, the yoga, you can go also to the nearby attractions of the rainforest. And let's talk about the food that is fantastic in Puerto Rico.
Can I just interrupt you? I'm telling you, people, I have had many different drinks here on the mainland. Okay, there is no place here on the mainland that makes a pina colada like in Puerto Rico. I'm just saying.
Well, we got to be specific, because you had them other places, but it was at Wyndham was where you had the best one. You did have other ones, and you're like, they don't taste the same. Well, at Wyndham, yes, in their bars and their restaurants, they did taste the same, and they threw in extra cherries for us.
They did.
So yeah, they went over the top. It was beautiful, but I'm getting kind of sad looking at the beach cam.
I know, right?
As it goes back and forth, and I'm like, oh god, we woke up to that.
We wake up to 40 degrees here in New Mexico in the morning.
Well, tomorrow morning in Florida.
I know. How about the 82 degrees right now? Nice.
And that's what we were talking about.
Ocean breeze and a freshly made pina colada on your hand.
Oh my goodness.
From Puerto Rican rum.
We could get used to that. But apparently a lot of people from the U.S. are getting used to that with the new tax laws and everything. There's a lot of people moving out there and taking advantage of the tax breaks, which is great. I mean, it's beautiful. It's going to be good for the country. It's good for Puerto Rico. It's good for everybody all around when we can take our dollars and spend them within our own country instead of taking them out and spending them somewhere else and all the different ways you lose money, because when you go outside the country, you're going to play different foreign rates. You don't know if you're getting a good deal, bad deal, what you're doing when you have cash. I hate cash. I mean, he knows whenever we travel, I don't want to do cash. I'd rather have my cards. I want to get my points. We didn't have it was flawless out there.
And by the way, something I want to mention about Wyndham Grand Rio Mar.
Yep.
They have a casino right on property.
Yeah, you lost money in that casino.
I did lose money.
I remember.
Thank you for contributing to the local economy.
Absolutely. Yes, he did. And it was
Billy's fault.
It was well, it is. I'm not a gambler, so they went in there.
Billy didn't know how it works, so I said, okay. He goes, show me how it works. I said, all right, here's a $100 bill. It's going right into the machine. Boom,
and that's it. And then boom, it was gone. So yeah, but there's so many.
But for your listeners and anybody that is coming, if you don't know how to play in a casino, we do have blackjack classes. Part of the many amenities.
Oh, wow.
we have here is the blackjack classes, obviously the rum tastings, because you need to try the rums of Puerto Rico. We're the rum capital of the world. There's the nature walks. There's the salsa lessons, so you can learn to dance salsa, even learn how to speak Spanish. And Ana is here, like, telling me of a lot of other things. So,
well, not for nothing. I was hanging out with Anna at the Puerto Rico Open, and we got to see. I don't even know how many different kinds of rum on the island. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I took pictures. How many they were. It was just endless different companies. I would say at least 8 to 10 different companies that actually make rum. We're all spoiled with Don Q and Bacardi.
And by the way, the USDA checkpoint did not allow me to bring the iguana that I took off the golf course home. They had to take it back.
That was a deal breaker. They're like, sorry.
No, you can't take this thing home with you.
No. But you know what? You guys are really close to it with the rainforest. Like what most people, a week is not enough. If we went, we could spend like 2 weeks at Wyndham Grand and still not touch everything. You guys being the central point and stuff. We wanted to do the rainforest.
They also have 2 parrots at the entrance.
Oh,
that speak.
Yes. Yes, they do.
I kept on. We were having conversations. I have a video of it. I'm like,
you do?
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
And they talked back to you?
They talked back.
You did both. You did both voices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you did.
Those are Bob and Jeff. So they greet you, our wonderful residents here, parrots that they greet you, macaws actually, and they're wonderful. Children love them. They're very engaging, and obviously you can every day at 11 a.m. you can feed the iguanas, our resident iguanas too.
Yeah,
that's what we didn't. Yeah, you told us that at breakfast.
I noticed those macaws though. They don't like the bellmen pretty much. they like to yell at them for some reason.
Yeah, but you know what I really enjoy was like you had people, kids and stuff like that. Some of them had, because you guys are handicap accessible, which was amazing because there was a couple of kids that had wheelchairs and different kinds of stuff that was going on, and they thought they had to go through the stairs. I was like, no, look right there, they got wheel access right to you. So they went to the side, and the kids got to talk to the birds. And watching their smiles while they're doing that, I mean, I was smiling and he smiled, but when I smiled and watched the baby, the baby and the kid smile, it's priceless when you get stuff like that.
Okay, so the guest rooms details, and then we're going to get to the restaurants, because the restaurants, I think, is very important.
Oh, my God, yes.
400 spacious guest rooms and suites with private balconies. And, oh, my God, what did you think of my balcony?
I didn't like your balcony.
I know you didn't like it, because it wasn't as good as yours.
Well, yours was bigger than mine. And I didn't like the fact that it was bigger than mine. But my room was bigger than yours, so yes.
Yeah. Mini refrigerators, in-room safes to protect your valuables with your own personal combination. Complimentary Wi-Fi, wireless internet is available in all the guest rooms and throughout the hotel. Flat screen TV, HD televisions with premium cable channels. Yes, I agree. Direct dial telephone, coffee maker, ironing boards, hair dryer, clock radio, and most of all, a nice cozy robe.
I know. That was the first thing you called me that night.
Yes, and the balconies, what perfect way to wake up, look at that beautiful view out of your balcony,
and
get your
to
room service delivered to your room, your nice, fresh brewed Puerto Rican coffee, so you can start your day like that. And in the evenings, if you look at the rainforest, have a cocktail, have your piña colada or a mojito.
Yeah, there was no bad
or a glass
views.
of wine. Looking at the rainforest. So beautiful views.
Also, I want to mention, too, for you, me and Bill, we got to enjoy a cigar. And one thing I want to say is you guys have a full humidor in your gift shop as well. So for those cigar lovers out there, you can get your cigars right there
fresh
at Wyndham Grand Rio Mar. Let's talk about the restaurants, because we only have a few minutes here, and there's 9 restaurants on property, 9 of them, and they're all different, aren't they, Evie?
Yes, absolutely. We have for dining restaurants for evening. Iguanas at the country club at the clubhouse is Puerto Rican cuisine. So yes, we have a wonderful restaurant of Puerto Rican cuisine right on our premises, and it's open for dinner. It's Iguanas Cocina Puertorriqueña, and then we have Roots Coastal Kitchen. That is a farm-to-table concept. So we embrace the culture of purchasing as much local produce as we can from the local farmers, the fishermen. So the fresh Caribbean lobsters, you can have it there at Roots Coastal Kitchen, Iguanas, or also at Palio, which is our steakhouse and seafood restaurant. So wonderful, more of the fine dining aspect, and then there's so many other restaurants, from the casual hole-in-one, the overlooking the golf courses, to tiki bar and right in front of the ocean that you can spend hours there, and you can get your fresh coconut water from there, and your fish tacos and your, even your burgers and hot dogs, if that's what you want. Then 5 o'clock somewhere, that's a fun place. Open from lunch until late at night with fun music, and next to the swim-up bar also, that we do mixology classes there every day. So lots of fun, and there's many other places to eat and drink, and also including Kaiku, our lobby bar and tapas bar, where you can have your rum flights. You can do a tasting of rums. Of course, there. Let's go back to that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
that's where it all started.
I know, and dance too, some Puerto Rican music, some fun tunes also at the lobby bar at night. So that's the area that gets, has a good ambience at night with the great food and drinks and music. And then
dancing
nearby.
Yeah, you could find people dancing right in those aisles everywhere. It was a really cool atmosphere. You had a nice couple that I used to see every night. They must have been in their 70s, and they were out there boogieing. I mean, they were going to it.
It
was
good
beautiful.
To see that. It
really was. I mean, they would dance one or two, and then they would sit down on the sofas right on the side, because you guys have different atmospheres where you can sit. If you want to go sit in those chairs and eat appetizers, or you want to go sitting on the sofas, it's a comfortable place to go anywhere and just listen to the music.
Now, I have one final question. We're heading up against the clock here. I have one final question for you, but one of the things I want to mention, there's so much to do on the property, including, when we were there, they had a magic show, so they have some form of entertainment as times going on at Wyndham Grand Rio Mar out there in Puerto Rico. But you're just a hop and a skip and a jump away from the San Juan airport. So people want to fly into San Juan. You're essentially in the middle of everything of the island, going either direction. And that's I think what sets you guys aside. But I want to actually ask you this: what sets Wyndham Grand Rio Mar aside from everybody else in Puerto Rico?
It's we have it all. We have beautiful beach, we have great golf courses, lots of entertainment, lots of activities, great culinary experience, wellness with the spa and all the different classes. You don't have to go anywhere.
You don't.
And you stay here, and you're next to some of the most sought-after attractions in Puerto Rico, like the rainforest, the bioluminescent bay, and lots of other activities. And you're not far from Old San Juan. So there's no place to stay, in Puerto Rico that offers everything that we do. So come back, and I hope that your listeners, come over to Puerto Rico, check us out on our website at Wyndham Grand Rio Mar, and Anna will share with you all of our social media handles.
Yes, all the listeners can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to Wyndham Grand RM, and then You can check out, obviously, all the different guests that are sharing their experience using the hashtag #ExperienceRioMar.
We've used it.
Yes, and then also if any listener wants to get more information regarding and wants to talk with our representatives in the reservation department, they can call us to 888-6200.
There you go. And I'll tell you what. You know what makes
they left out affordability. That's what they left out because we travel a lot. It's really affordable.
Half the price.
Yeah,
for half the price. Let's just say you want to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. I think it's even more than half the price.
Half the price to go to Puerto Rico, experience a tropical experience, 5-star resort. I mean, absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And how about this? I'm just throwing this out there for someone who might be listening. How about a honeymoon?
I know.
You don't need a passport.
No.
Listen.
Weddings, everything.
Can you hear this? Can you hear this?
Yep.
You don't need a passport.
No. No, they don't. But I'm looking forward to going back. There's so much that we haven't done yet, and we have to go back. There's no way. I mean,
there's just so much more to show the listeners.
Yes,
show the people out there. The mainstream media has portrayed this. We talked about it earlier.
Yes, we did, yeah.
Portrayed the island. I mean, how many we have people asking us, and I know we're up against the clock here, many people asking you and I, why are you going? It's a destruction area.
Even when we came back.
Yeah.
How bad is it?
How bad is it? Right.
It's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
No. And the thing is, some of the people that we were out there with, their articles started coming out during midweek. And, I mean, they got their numbers, too. 98% of the state, I mean, what I call a state, but of the country is still going. It's still moving. Yeah, we have we've seen them, but when you see a house, it happens in Florida. If you have a house that's built of wood and a hurricane comes through, something's going to happen. I've gone through 4 hurricanes with a hurricane house, and I've had nothing happen. Okay, I lost a palm tree. But these are the things, that they're not telling you. This house is 90 years old that fell down.
Right.
But it's the same house they're showing. It's repetitive, but they're not showing how the whole island as one is looking.
All right, we need to head into our break here. But Evie and Anna, thank you so much for joining us here on Biggs Golf Talk. We love you so much, and we are looking forward to seeing you on trip number 2
and show number 4.
Absolutely, thank you. We can't wait till you come back.
Thank you.
All right, experience.
No, it's
Riomar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
hashtag experience Riomar.
Or I've been using Rediscover Riomar too. Is that
That's
okay?
right. Rediscover Riomar, experience Riomar. Use the hashtag that you want. But yes, you have to come and rediscover for those that have been to Puerto Rico and to our hotel. Rediscover it.
WyndhamGrandRiomar.com is their website. Check out the webcams. We're watching the beach webcam.
I know, man. I'm depressed.
I wish I had a pina colada right now, but all I have is a cup of coffee, so it ain't Puerto Rican coffee either.
Puerto Rican coffee either. Nope.
All right, more Biggs Golf Talk coming your way right after this. Up next is Mr. Hole-in-One, who got a hole-in-one in Puerto Rico.
I know. It just got better for him.
He is coming up next right here on Biggs Golf Talk. We'll be right back.
Have you ever seen a tour pro line up a putt with a dirty ball? No way. A clean ball rolls accurately, and accurate putts mean lower scores. The solution? Ready Putt. It's the putter cover reinvented. Ready Putt has a patented ball cleaner that's made to absorb and retain water. All you need to do is add water, and it remains wet throughout your round, giving your ball the perfect shine. It also has a magnetic surface to hold your ball marker and divot repair tool. Let's say you switch putters from round to round using a blade, mid-mallet, or large mallet. Ready Putt Original has you covered. Look, putting is hard enough. Accurate putts start with a clean ball, and a clean ball starts with Ready Putt.
For more information about Ready Putt, visit ReadyPutt.com. That is ReadyPutt.com. Clean it and sink it. The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is searching for the country's best 2-player teams to compete against an international field in the 54-hole Ryder Cup-style event, known prestigiously as the International Kings Cup. The International Kings Cup is played in remembrance of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer, whose honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, and commitment to excellence represent the ideals for which the game of golf is known. The road to the King's Cup begins with a national qualifier. 2-player teams compete in an 18-hole qualifier playing best ball using net scoring. For more information, to sign up, and to find a national qualifier near you, their website is usgolfchallenge.com. That is usgolfchallenge.com.
This is Bigg's Product of the Week. Each week, Bigg Jon and the GolfFather select a golf product to feature. Here is Bigg Jon Vic and Bill, the GolfFather Cuebas, with this week's Product of the Week.
Welcome back to Bigg's Golf Talk, and instead of Bigg's Product of the Week, we have the Shot of the Week here on Bigg's Golf Talk, sponsored by the U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Handmade Vodka. You need to be 21 years of age to enjoy a great Tito's beverage. And friends, don't let friends drive drunk, and check out all the national qualifiers for the U.S. Golf Challenge by visiting usgolfchallenge.com. Bigg Jon Vic back with Bill, the GolfFather Cuebas, Discover Puerto Rico, Part 2, Billy. Mm-hmm. And our next guest, I mean, unfortunately, we were working when this happened. But we'll get to that, and he had a fabulous shot in Puerto Rico, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But we're going to get, his aspect. Yeah, people are hearing from us, but there was, several other people that was with us out there in Puerto Rico, and one of those people was our next guest, Gregg Dewalt. He's the sports editor for Times Daily. And Gregg, where's Times Daily out of? Alabama?
Florence, Alabama.
Alabama. Well, Gregg, welcome into Bigg's Golf Talk, my friend.
It's great to be with y'all.
Now, Discover Puerto Rico, we were out there for a few days, and one of the things that we have been hammering, Gregg, and one of the things we've seen when we came back home to New Mexico was 99% of the people that was in line to board a plane and going through security checkpoint had passports. And one of the things we've been trying to hammer home, you don't need a passport to go to Puerto Rico.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the one of the benefits of going to a tropical location that's a U.S. territory, a commonwealth of the U.S. You just fly like you're going, if you're going from Albuquerque to Los Angeles, it's the same as going from, Miami to Puerto Rico. You just get on the plane, you make your travel arrangements, get your ticket, and no lines really, just the TSA stuff.
Yep.
Now, before we left, and Bill and I talked about this in the opening of our show, and we're going to talk about it in the close of our show here with you, is one of and I don't know if you got this, as you may have shared with people, you were going to Puerto Rico on this nice little trip that they provided to us, but one of the things that were said to us by many people, friends, family, and everything else, was nervous for us to travel to Puerto Rico because they said it's a land of destruction right now, and there's a chance, we're going to walk into something that's going to be very bad for health, very bad for us physically, and all that. But that wasn't the case, was it?
No, I mean, I think you guys saw it as well as I did. Puerto Rico's up and running. It's, obviously, you've got a diverse little country down there, nation with it's 100 miles long and 35 miles wide, and there's going to be pockets that are still recovering. I mean, that was a devastating hurricane that hit, but 98%, 99% of the island, it's business as usual. You guys saw it, I saw it. That's in the past, and they're trying to focus on the future and getting things back to a sense of normalcy, and. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the news media, the news cycles, something happens and, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it dominates the disaster aspect, dominates the news cycle. And then the people who were down there reporting on the destruction never come back to see the recovery. And that's one of the messages I think the Discover Puerto Rico is getting out there that, that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We're back up and running, and it's a great island, tropical location. It's warm all year, and come check it out.
Being a U.S. territory, and like you said, I mean, yes, they 2-3 years ago had 2 hurricanes in 1 year, and that's something that not a lot of people and not a lot of islands are going to withstand, but Puerto Rico did withstand it and has recovered and is open for business. But a part of that, Gregg, and I hope you agree with this, is I think it's our responsibility from people from the mainland to put back into the economy of the tropical paradise of Puerto Rico because it is a U.S. territory.
Yeah, I mean, it's like going anywhere else. I mean, would you not go to a destination like Myrtle Beach after a hurricane for 3 or 4 years? You wouldn't. I mean, that's a place that we kind of owe it to the people to help them in the complete the recovery, and just avoiding a place because 2 years ago there were hurricanes. I mean, that makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
If you're a golfer, if you're looking for great beaches, great cuisine, Puerto Rico is the same as anywhere. Just because you have to fly over an ocean, Atlantic Ocean, to get there doesn't mean it's not part of the U.S.
Yeah, and what our listeners don't know, and we didn't even know until afterwards. We were our first day, and all of a sudden I heard you speak Spanish, and I was like, huh? I was like, no way. I was like, I was just minding my own business. You start talking, I'm like, wow, he sounds really good, So you went on, and as I got to know more about you, you actually spent a lot of time on the island with your family. So you got to see it years ago, and you got to see it now. It was like your return trip to your second home. How did you see it from back where it was at to where it is now? How do you feel it is?
It's weird you say that because obviously I grew up down there. My family moved down there when I was in the middle of the first grade, and we didn't move back to the States until I was going into my junior year in college. And that was in the late 60s and 70s. To go back and see, it was so very familiar to me, but it was also a lot of change, just a lot of the infrastructure. We used to have to take a 2-lane road from where we lived in Guaynabo to Dorado Beach, where we played, the last couple of years that we lived down there. Now, you've got a highway, 4-lane highway, kind of an interstate type deal. Cut about 15 minutes off the trip. Just that kind of thing. But everything has changed. It's a little bit more modern, but it's also, for me, it was so familiar. I knew the same streets we used to travel down, the countryside, the rainforest we could see from the golf course. It hasn't changed at all. And it's just a beautiful. Obviously, I'm a little biased because I grew up down there.
Yeah.
But it's just an amazing place to visit.
But what people don't know is that you weren't born in Puerto Rico. Your family took a job in Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States. So yeah, I mean, I think from back then to now, that the misconception still.
Well, isn't it amazing when people turn to being Puerto Rican or people that were born in Puerto Rico? Hey, what nationality are?
I say
American.
I'm American. I'm American.
And
they're like, huh?
My ethnic background is Puerto Rican.
Yes. And you still see it. And everything that we fill out, okay, it doesn't have it has Caucasian, white, Hispanic. And I'm like, well, half the time I'm Caucasian unless I get sun on me. So, well, what does it matter? I'm a U.S. citizen. That's the only thing that I care about. I don't care about anything else. I'm USA, period. And then part of it.
Gregg, from this trip specifically, what did you get from it?
I think for me, again, it was nice to be what I consider home. I think where you grow up as a child is always going to be where you consider your home. And even though that I live in Alabama now, I think to me it was refocusing, revisiting, reconnecting with my roots and seeing that nothing has changed from an aspect of how friendly the people are, what a unique situation Puerto Rico is, being a part of the U.S. That, you think of you can compare it to Hawaii, an East Coast Hawaii kind of situation as far as the climate. The golf is as good, if not better now than when I lived down there. And they're trying. They're really trying to, I guess you could say, maybe pull their own weight as part of the U.S. they don't want handouts.
Right.
No. Puerto Rican people aren't looking for handouts. No. They're looking for help.
Right.
And, again, if you can, and I think when we talked to the GM at the Wyndham at the Rio Mar,
yep.
He pointed out, you're a 4-hour, 3-hour flight from New York to Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
To get to Hawaii, man, it's like, day and a half. It's a long flight to get out there. And you're basically seeing a lot of the same, the same climate, the same great golf, the great same amenities when you come to the resort living.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I want to talk about something we said this in the beginning of the show. This isn't Bigg's product of the week this week, but it is Big Shot of the Week. And the shot of the week is to TPC Dorado East Course, hole number 12. And there is a certain individual by the name of Gregg Dewalt that got a hole-in-one, although we do have somebody from the group that is protesting that shot.
I didn't see it.
But Gregg Dewalt, walk us through what happened on that tee box.
Okay, the first thing you got to know is Dorado Beach has switched to 9 since I was playing down there. Mm-hmm. So the hole that I got the hole-in-one on used to be number 3.
Oh, wow.
But it's amazing. Again, I've played one round of golf there since probably 1978, and that was in 1999 when I went back for a short visit. But it's amazing how, even though they've renovated the course, I knew walking up on that tee, what the yardage was. Every shot I hit down there, I've had that shot, 100 times back in the day when I played there, and that's kind of neat. One aspect that I really enjoyed was, back in the 70s when I was playing down there, we were playing persimmon woods, forged irons.
Yeah.
To see I'm hitting the ball basically the same distance now that I was back then, even though I'm old and decrepit and feeble.
None of that's true, but it's okay.
I mean, we all get old, right?
No.
But I've had that shot, and I knew the club. I mean, I hit a little 4 hybrid in there, and we didn't see it go in the hole, but hey, it was a Sunday pin location.
Yes.
I mean, it was a professional shot. I'm going to brag on that.
It was, because when we found out that you had it, we were talking to the head pro there, and he was like, "There's no way. Where's that pin location?" And he's like, "No, it's tucked behind the bunker. There's no way." And they were like, he did it. He was surprised with the pin location, and they were showing us how difficult it would be, and it was lucky. I mean, it was a great way to return back home. You know what I mean?
Now, one of the things I want to say, we heard from the head pro there from TPC Dorado, Jeff Willenberg, and Jeff said that they are actually going to renovate the plaque. They found a hole-in-one plaque that they're going to, an old one, and they want to put it in the clubhouse again. They're going to refurbish that.
Yep.
And Gregg Dewalt's name is going to be implanted on that.
I think it's funny because every time I hear you call him Gregg, I hear George. Because for the first 2 days of the trip, he was George. And I was like, "Gregg, why aren't you going to tell him what your name is?" Because I don't think he knows. I was like, "Yeah, okay."
Someone was calling him George, and I just picked up on it. I'm not really good with names, so when I hear somebody else say it, I'm like, "Oh, okay, his name is George." All right, I got it, George. And then all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, Bill just said,
"It's Gregg.
Why are you calling him George?"
His name is Gregg.
Yeah.
Being in the sports media business, I've been called a heck of a lot of things, so a lot worse than George.
Yeah, George is okay.
And, one name you cannot deny is Mr. Hole-in-One.
Nope.
So no matter what your full name is, that is your name right before that, Mr. Hole-in-One in Puerto Rico.
It was exciting. I've got to admit, they were kind of kidding me because I don't get overly excited about anything. I guess, that's like the golfer in me says, you don't get too high, you don't get too low, just move on. And fortunately, you guys aren't asking me about the next hole. which may or may not have involved an X on the card.
Well, that'll be our next show.
we're talking about the good things right now.
This is only good. We're not going to talk about anything after the fact.
All right. Well, Gregg, it was a pleasure having you on, Mr. Hole-in-One here, and congratulations on the hole-in-one. And I know. And by the way, not for nothing, how many hole-in-ones is that for you, Gregg?
That's my fifth.
I have yet to get my first. I have an unofficial one when I had to sit on a par 3 as a celebrity hitting shots all day long, and so after hitting my 30th shot, it went in the hole. but
it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
It's weird because my first one I was playing by myself, so a lot of people say that doesn't count, and then
it counts for you.
It counts, absolutely. I mean, I got a nice column out of it, but two of them I did not see go in the hole. The second one was a blind shot on a par 3 uphill, and the third one, it flew into the hole, and I didn't believe that it was in until people told me. And so I've only really seen the fourth. The fourth one's the only one I've seen go in the hole and knew it went in the hole.
There you go.
And I think that was the best one for me, actually watching it go in the hole. Yeah. I screamed like a little girl.
All right, we got to get out of here. Gregg, thank you so much. We're behind on time here. That does it for Bigg's Golf Talk. For Amanda, the Golf Diva Robertson. For Bill, the GolfFather Cuebas. I am Bigg Jon Vick. This has been Discover Puerto Rico Part 2. Look for more on our website at biggsgolftalk.com with the new website being launched very, very soon. And we're going to have an article on there as well. Until next week, everybody, just remember one thing. You matter. Thanks for listening.
It's Saturday morning. We're gonna play golf. The wife is moaning. We're gonna play golf. The kids are all screaming like someone's gonna die. The grass needs mowing, it's 2 feet high. But the boys are calling, so we're gonna play golf. Golf course, here I come. Play golf. It'll turn you lazy. Play golf. It'll make you crazy. Something strange happens to your brain when you take a big swing with that little white ball. It don't matter if we win or we lose. Even birdie par and double bogey too. The boys are calling, so we're gonna play golf. Nice shot, Arnold. In-laws are coming over. We're gonna play golf. The smoke alarm's beeping. We're gonna play golf. Forecast is calling for all kinds of rain. Preacher man says we ought to be ashamed. The Lord have mercy, y'all. We're gonna play golf. Whoa, where'd that come from? Play golf. It'll turn you lazy. Play golf. It'll make you crazy. Something strange happens to your brain when you take a big swing at that little white ball. It don't matter if we win or we lose. Even birdie par or double bogey too. The boys are calling, so we're gonna play golf. Lucky putt. We don't always act like we should. We wanna play like Tiger Woods. The boys are calling, so we're gonna play golf. Play golf. It'll turn you lazy. Play golf. It'll make you crazy. Something strange happens to your brain when you take a big swing at that little white ball. It don't matter if you win or lose. Even birdie par or double bogey too. The boys are calling, so we're gonna play golf. Nice double bogey. It don't
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.